Hey, what up everybody? GleeCon here again with another episode of Lore of Warcraft. Thank you all for clicking. This episode is a continuation of the series. I've been doing a classic era completionist playthrough where I do every single quest, every line of dialogue, everything for Horde and Alliance in World of Warcraft Classic, and the couple that we can't do because of classes, we still cover those, review them, look at the lines of dialogue. It's part of a greater experience through everything related to World of Warcraft chronologically. I started at the beginning with some of the Chronicles materials, and I've worked my way through pretty much every book and canon and non-canon little iota of anything you can think of that had come out up until this point in time. Yeah, we're going to dive in. We're in Feralas right now. We're about halfway through that zone. Stay a while and listen as we take our Leakin Soul, our Tauren Shaman, back into Feralas on our Horde run. We've already completed this zone on Alliance if you check out the past few episodes. Typically a zone this size takes around 5-ish episodes to complete, so somewhere around 8 to 10 hours of playtime if you're doing it in the completionist style and not just like trying to level up as fast as possible. So the last thing that we did was... well, I can't remember exactly. We do have to go back to the to Orgrimmar for this Gordoni orb. We're about 59k away from leveling up. It's a slow process. We are going to need to go down and experience these Zukk'ash down here. But I think actually our current plan was to go over here. We need these sprite darters for a couple reasons. We need to get the Faerie Dragon Muisek from them, as well as iridescent sprite darter wings. So these the sprite darter wings come from something called a new Cloak Sheen. I think it's a kind of a one-off where you go kill these dragons and strip them for their wings. And then the other quest is a continuation of a series of quests that we've been doing, where we fight various creatures throughout Feralas. Actually, the first one sent us to the hinterlands to test it on Wildkin. But you kill them and then you shrink them down. You shrink their corpse down, and somehow that prevents their spirit from escaping. It also makes it unskinnable, which is annoying because we are a skinner on this character. Alright, we got 2 darter wings, and we did get one of the encrusted minerals that we need. We are also trying to find these metallic fragments. I want to look at that quest after we finish this, because I think we might have to go back to the hippogriffs at some point just to finish off our metallic fragments. Not quite sure. But we are short by 26. So let's see what they say. They can be found on the giants. Also, find me some sinew. Blah blah blah. A large amount. It says any creatures can drop these metallic fragments. As you've seen, I have not. Darn it! I just realized I'm not Muiseking these guys, and I'm supposed to be. I'm skinning them instead. Oopsie. But we have almost completely gotten all of their wings, so that's good. So we need the encrusted minerals, but the giants can also drop those at the end. Supposedly, you can get the natural metals or whatever from these guys too, as you are seeing with me. I haven't seen that happen. So we haven't gotten a single one, and Questy here doesn't seem to indicate that they can. So that might be a lie. We might have to go back and grind out the rest of the metallic fragments over here. But I got it just in time. Yeah, there's no point in reserving any energy when you have a not Earthshock. When you have a mana burn coming your way, because you'll lose more energy. Alright, so just kind of glancing down there at the guild chat. They were talking about something, but I kind of came in mid-guild chat. Alright, still no metallic. So I am suspecting that we are kind of screwed on that. It's not the end of the world. I know you can get them from the Treants, and we haven't done that one yet. As soon as we get the Treant quest, we'll come back and we'll work on these Zukk'ash guys too. My goal would be to get us maybe... Yeah, so we're getting the encrusted minerals done. As I mentioned on the last episode, when you are doing this zone as Horde, one of the things that I have tried to do is make my entire questing experience kind of tied to wherever you're at with the with this Muisek questline, because it basically sends you everywhere. So it's just a consideration. You can of course do whatever, but if you want to minimize backtracking as much as possible, then I would suggest continually pressing forward with this Muisek quest. So the first one is Hippogriffs. Okay, you got to take care of that hinterlands and come back. The second one was these beasts right here, the Hippogriffs, and not Hippogriffs. The first one was Owl Beast, and Hippogriffs over here, which I tied that into doing my ogres. You can bust these first ogres out if you want. Okay, so we have all the encrusted minerals we need. We still need a couple more Muiseks, and again, we have not had a single metallic fragment drop. So I think that is a lie when the quest giver said any of these creatures can drop this. Which means, but I knew for a fact that the 14 we got mostly came out of these Hippogriffs. So. Yep, none there. Alright. Okay, we just need one more little guy. One more sprite darter, and I think there's also something called a Faerie dragon that can also is another version of this. These as you see, these guys basically like eternally respawn, and that's because there's an alliance quest that we already did where you can work your way up to getting a baby one of them, and it does require you to free and rescue a certain percentage of these Faerie dragons. It feels stressful to me every time I do it, but I have yet to fail it, so maybe it's just stressing. Which, to me, that's a good design quest. If you feel the stress and pressure, but you can still succeed with regularity. Alright, so we were gaining a little bit of XP from these sprite darters. That's a rarity. I mentioned this in other episodes. We're a little over leveled. We're level 55 doing Feralas. So that's the other part of doing a completionist run. You will become increasingly over-leveled, particularly at this stage. But by the time you're doing some of these higher-level zones, like Western Plaguelands, it doesn't really matter. Like you're not really doing it for the XP anymore. I'm not.
Hey there, okie-dokie.
Were you able to capture the Muisek of the Faerie dragons?
Later.
Thank you, Gleekon Soul. Now the spiritual powers of the Faerie dragon will be available to us. I hope you're willing to perform another task for me. Alright, so I also do a sheet for everybody on here, so you can follow along with the same journey that we do. And I do also the order that I vet the quests offline. But we just did Faerie Dragon Muisek, which is, I think, a weird word. Okay, so that one is done now. Yeah, I've been working on Fellwood lately. Alright, Faerie Dragon Muisek. We do have... Oh, and this is about to get turned into this new Cloak Sheen, but we'll...
See ya later.
Treant Muisek. The wandering forest walkers that can be found meandering to the forest are our next target, Gleekon Soul. The Night Elves have enlisted Treants as allies to fight against the Horde. Their movement may be slow, but their role as protectors is undeniable. Soon we will be able to use this power for our own benefit. Man, my accent on the troll's off today. Find 3 wandering forest walkers, kill them, and use the Muisek vessel to shrink and capture them. Okay, so that is almost, if you follow the Muisek line, we're getting near the end. The mountain giant Muisek is the final one where you get elites at the end. This one's annoying though, and we're just going to kind of take it as it goes. So now we're going to kind of fade back on this for a little and work on some of the other quests. And if we see Treants good, that would be awesome. And then we're going to turn this Fairy Dragon quest right now. I don't think this one has follow-up.
The sprite hunters can be dangerous critters when provoked. Be careful when dealing with them, shaman. And be even more careful of any night elves in the area. The pestering fools tend to hold up in the forests also. If you've gotten enough of the wings, let me know. I'll be sure to reward you well.
Wonderful adventurer. These will do nicely. There are enough here to make a cloak for Corrin, and possibly even more. Thank you. I hope the trip wasn't too dangerous. The area of Feralas is not known for being forgiving, but you've obviously done well enough. Thank you again, adventurer.
Oh, it does open up. Okay, so that does lead us to another quest. That's cool. So I forgot about that. I was wondering. So new Cloak Sheen is now done, and this will open up this very small mini quest line where we go after the Grim Totem. The Alliance also have to do this in their own way.
What? You came across Tauren in the area? You're joking. What did they look like? The Grim Totem clan. You found some of them? Belgrim, one of our masters, has an interest in their kind. He's even put a bounty on them. You have to go back, adventurer.
Go back and bring me their horns? Piles of them if you can. The Grim Totem are not to be trifled with or underestimated. Go back and slay them. Let the rivers in Feralas run red with their dark blood.
Okay. So I guess we're going to do that. Let's go make the rivers run red with the dark blood of these turds. Oh, I guess I got a BOE drop from one of these guys, but it's cloth. Okay, so up we go now to fight the Grim Totem. You can fight them over here. You can fight whatever kind you want. I don't know why I'm taking the long way. Other than the fact that maybe... Over here, this Aj Tordin. Oh, there's a Treant. Perfect. Okay, because we need 3... Muisek on these guys. So they are hard to find. I've mentioned this before. There's only maybe 5 or so that wander around the level at various spots. They're not particularly hard or anything. They're just not centrally located. So that makes them one of the more annoying parts of the game. Of the zone, rather. Not of the game. Nothing in the greater World of Warcraft lore. He does seem to be kind of resisting my... Alright, we did get a metallic fragment, which is cool. And we did get the other splintered log that we need. Okay, so now all we're missing is the metallic fragment. So now we do have to make it part of our goal to go down there. It's a bummer. As I was saying, up here is another Dire Maul quest guy. There's a bunch of Dire Maul quests. Most of them are found in this area. Alright, so we're now going to hop over the river. Maybe we'll see another Treant. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. I don't know. I jumped out. That's one of my favorite mini games in WoW is clearing that river. I just don't usually play it on Horde. Such an annoyance to go around that camp. It really happens a lot if you are Horde. There are these... The Horde is generally better for most zones, including all of the Elven Forest zones, but it is annoying when you go to the Horde. And now you'll notice as a shaman, I seem to be underutilizing my totems, and that is because I... bad at this game. it's because I usually don't find the mana like worth the trade. Now in this situation, where I can pull a few to my little totem pole, my totem pole, yeah, I like that. It's a little bit okay. This is also back to being a quest where we're getting like no XP. But I wanted to get it out of the way because one, it's a little tedious. There's nothing else that's connected to it. And yeah, we just have to kill 20 guys. It looks like there's a 100% drop rate. But it also has a lead away to it. I think I might have to down level Earthshock soon. Certainly when I do dungeons I need to. Because it does good damage. Oh, I got 2 horns off that one. Bravo to you for having 2 horns. I mean, I just am kind of pulling them over. That's what I can do. If I can see a concentration like this of dudes, then I'll be like, alright, I'll drop my totems, and then if I can get a full minute of time out of it, now it's a little bit time to split. It's time to skedaddle. Oh, there is one right here, sure. I'll kill that guy too. For the last few seconds of our gear. They died. But still, pretty good. Because then it does help with, you know, everything. Alright, we're up to 8 of 20, so that's good. It's a little better than, go ahead and drop my totem set, like, right here. Let's start calling these guys over. Just like before, one by one. There's also something you can do with Earthbind Totem. I've seen videos of it where people kind of weave in and out. I don't do any of the more complicated mechanics. I feel like that is like an effort at min-maxing to really get the game. It makes the game a lot more engaging, and it provides the illusion of like complicated mechanics for the game, but really what you're doing is attempting to manipulate the systems of the game in terms of like hitboxes and what the mobs can do. Like my quests have just shrunk enough where I can access Wind Fury weapon again. One of the worst parts about the way I've set my screen up that I just refuse to fix. Because I don't often have 12, 13 or more quests going at once. We got some Warden's Woolies. Woolies are one of my favorite. Anytime I see Woolies, I'm like, because that normally means zombies. Okay, so this is pretty good though. I think we're already at 16. And by having them so concentrated, we're able to stay within the range of my totems, which has made mana regeneration, life regeneration, pretty stinking sustainable. This would be better if I had noticed that I had. Oh. That's the first time we had one that didn't drop a horn. Would you look at that? You are within range too. It doesn't matter though. At least for my mana. At least give me some mana regen. Really? 2 in a row that did not drop their horns. And I still need 3 horns. Interesting. Alright, now that we're back to one-on-one, I'm not going to waste time with it. Because every time you drop it, that's another almost 500, no, almost 400 mana. And I got a gun, a Sentinel Musket. Which is that's a not insignificant amount of mana. considering one of these costs 305. I guess it's arguable, but you think about the 60. Okay, if you fight for, let's say, 15 seconds, 8 mana every 2, let's say 16, you're gonna get 8, 60. I guess it would pay for itself pretty much every time, but it would be borderline. I'd have to really experiment. But notice I'm having a harder time sustaining my life. So, okay, we're gonna have an extra horn now. Destroyed it. Alright, back to the camp we go, and I believe this one's gonna have a second. Oh, I don't know if I. Yeah, I forgot to pick that quest up. A Grim Discovery. Looks like it has 2 parts, so it's probably just a little 1-2 kill these guys and everything will be okay situation. And obviously the Horde is not cool with the Grim Totem, even though Magatha Grim Totem resides within Thunder Bluff. So interesting how often we fight the Grim Totem, because you fight him in Thousand Needles too. Even though there is a representative of them in Thunder Bluff. In fact, their leader. Still on this side of the dirt. Alright, so here we'll talk to our Crew Egg Skull Splitter.
Take my word seriously, Shaman. The Grim Totem clan is evil. If you found their whereabouts, then it's up to you to return and strike the first blow against that clan, before they can come into our own lands and raise our own villages or pilfer our lands.
These are good horns, adventurer. Well done. I'll take these from you, and be sure to tell Belgrim as soon as we return to Orgrimmar. You've helped me twice now, and for that, you have my mark. Perhaps in the future I can help you. Good luck to you.
Alright, so that's the first one. I'm guessing there's a Grim Totem Discovery number 2 we're going to be working on right now.
What? Ah, so I did mention a bounty, didn't I? Well, that'll teach me to open my mouth, won't it? You did the work, so I suppose it is only right you reap the greatest reward from it. Take the horns. I'll have them put in a crate for you. Find Belgrom Rockmaul in the Valley of Honor. He'll want to know what you saw, and he'll reward you for your hard work. Be well, adventurer, and thank you again for everything you've done.
Alright, so there is a bounty, and I'll get that by going to Orgrimmar. So now we have 2 reasons to go to Orgrimmar. Love that, but we're not going there right now. Let's go offload our backpack some, and then we will go down now and finally fight these pesky Zukk'ash. Meanwhile, we might encounter a Treant on the way. We need 2 more. We've found 1. Let's see. We don't have anything leather. We've not really been getting
I have just the
thing special
for you.
And now that's part of that quest. Okay. Now, as far as Mage Weave, yeah, I think we can do that right now because I think we are
With the earth.
out of the game when it comes to that. I think we've done all of our. Yep. Pretty sure I checked this last episode. Yeah. So we just need to use Mage Weave to help us level up. So let's go ahead and get some of that going on now too. I'm not quite going to Orgrimmar yet because I'm trying to get some. We gained almost nothing, like I said, from that quest. We're at 55,000 XP we still need. Well, it's gonna be tedious. Heavy Mage Weave, it's actually more, if you're looking to gain money off of your Mage Weave and not sell it in the auction house, Mage Weave bandages by the single are better. But when you're trying to max out, just a couple points here and there. Yeah, we did not quite do it.
For something.
We're close. We're 1 point off of 290. At 290, I believe you can learn heavy rune weave. Rune cloth, I mean. Alright, down we go now to the Zukk'ash. This is a Silithid thing, and we have to go inside because we also have to fight Stinglasher. There are 2 quests with this. That's a persistent thing in southern Kalimdor, is this increasing as we get closer and closer to Silithus. It's increasing. You know, I was watching this video yesterday, and there are things that I never knew existed, which is really interesting. For instance, I did not know if you mountain hopped at the bottom of Winterspring, you could find your way into Hyjal and actually run around that zone. That is crazy. Oh, yes, we got another Treant. I also did not realize if you mess around with Karazhan in Deadwind Pass, you can actually cheat your way and get into the basement, these catacombs of Karazhan. There's something else, too. There's another hidden zone that I can't remember. You can get into the Caverns of Time in Tanaris and actually see, like, it's just crazy some of the stuff that they already had designed and made and just never maxed out. I also forgot that someplace, I don't remember where, has Timbermaw Hold, whereas I think it's Winterspring. I think there's a part where there's a Timbermaw Hold where there's just this giant Timbermaw base that's never, like, I was just basically watching watching a video on YouTube while I played in the background, and it was just talking about their personal ranking of all of the zones, kind of something I do. So I was looking to other people. You know, I felt like I could do a much better service to some content like that. Oh, there's Stinglasher right there. Okay. So I was watching it, and then really I quickly turned into like, well, this is what I would do if I was doing this. So that was a little bit, you know, whatever. But I did enjoy it, but I did not know any of that stuff. So that's cool. I didn't realize Stinglasher was going to just be right here like this. Wow. Stinglasher's pretty mana intensive too with all these poisonings. Alright, we got the Carapace and the Scent Gland, and now we just need 20 more Carapaces. Probably gotta kill 20 more guys. Again, they're pretty tightly wound, tightly packed. Probably get away with. Killing them. Okay, good to know the workers are gonna skedaddle. Also good to know that you cannot skin these guys. Cool if you could, but can't. So I won't. Alright, and this will be, yeah, this is just going to be a nice, there is some, I believe, ooze-covered thorium you can start getting your hands on if you want to go into the caves, especially if you're a stealth miner. But we do it with Glee Contessa. But on this character, no. And we're actually, because of the Muisek thing, it's actually getting us a little bit. Okay, 420. Let's see. We'll just go around. I don't know that I want to go dig my way into the cave. I'd like to try and, yeah, let's just set down these little areas and pull them in. I also don't like fighting the wasps as much because chances are they are going to poison you at some point. They suck. This quest itself is not that hard. Stinglasher was a little higher, so I guess Stinglasher was a little tougher. But yeah, we're fighting this. They're the typical classes that you fight. I've been thinking about this more lately, like, and it goes to combination of the different readings I've done and looking at the Warcraft, when we looked at the old Warcraft Dungeons and Dragons book series thing, like source books, which we skimmed those books. We read a lot of them, but a lot of it was very dry, so we skimmed it. Absolutely check those out. You want to see one of the more obscure. There are really cool ones. I tried to make one. I talked about it for a while. Eventually, I just honestly got bored with it because it's extremely time intensive. You can absolutely make the argument. There are people that have done it already, and you could make the argument that mine was going to be better, but I was also holding myself to a different kind of timeline. But it was a really good idea, but the whole time I felt like I'm doing all of this work, and I don't know that the payoff is going to be worth. Like, it felt like I'm making a real official, like, D&D book. It just felt like actual work. That's what it felt like. It felt like I should be getting paid. So once that happened, and because other people have done a great job with very similar things, and honestly, I would still do it, because providing that as a labor of love to the world at large, or even like putting it on my Patreon or whatever, would have been cool, but I just don't have the time. I think maybe if I had, I'd get back into it and start again from scratch. If I had the time to really experiment and devote it, but with a full-time job. Even right now, work is light, and there's just always still something to do. You guys know, you all have lives too. So I feel like making this show is already time intensive enough on top of my job and a household, you know, a family. So maybe as my kids continue to get older, if I, you know, ever get to retire in this economy, not looking likely, but alright, let's move. Classic Plus build, modded after Turtle WoW. I mean, that would be cool, but I don't believe it. I mean, you never know. Blizzard, in a sense, is kind of like, I don't know, I consider playing Turtle WoW too. I think that's kind of cool. I don't know what, I mean, Classic Plus is very similar to, like, Season of Discovery. So I don't really know what you'd get different. And you'd further fracture the fan base, because half the people here on Era would prefer something like that, maybe even myself. They're saying, I hope we get a one-click feature like retail has. I don't know what that means. Is that really true? They said that no need for knowing macros or anything if you have one button mode. If there's really truly one button mode, that's crazy. That'd be like playing the game on story mode or something, which has an appeal, like if you're trying to get kids or like non-gamers or people with physical impediments in, but holy cow. I mean, they're talking about it, like, these people in chat are talking about it like it's real. So if there is really a one button mode, it's crazy. Says their theory is it's for, what is that? Warden's Wraps? Oh, I think I got the Woolies before. So they're testing it for WoW on Game Pass and controller support. I mean, that'd be cool to Xbox Game Pass to have WoW on a console. with controllers? I don't know though. That'd be really tough. It's just, I mean, if I could play this game in my living room, like on my big TV, which I guess I could if I just hooked my PC up that way, but like if I could play it on my PS5, which they're talking about Xbox, so that doesn't really apply either, but I could see some appeal to that. Then again, I like my PC. So, I don't know. I'm not really worried. When they say it's going to be the fall of retail, the only thing I can think of it being the fall of would be potentially like some PvP stuff. Like it would make PvP maybe more annoying because you could have like noobs coming in there, like unskilled people, and having a generic PvP build, but you'd still have the true heart, sweats at the game, not utilizing that route and being, I would imagine, being more efficient. Also, like, one button play just seems not engaging. Kind of, maybe they can do it in something like hardcore mode where like you are signaling to the world you're on that. That would be cool if they put Warcraft 2 on a console. That'd be fun. And then that's after the next 3 expansions. So I wonder if what they're saying by Warcraft 2 is World of Warcraft 2. So are they saying in the next few years after these expansions with what's his name, Chris Metzen, have kind of played on their course, then they stop making a new expansion every year for this and they make a Warcraft 2? And then what? Then these servers can kind of just go dark or stop growing, and then you kind of see a death of Warcraft. I just see too much money in this game. I mean, whatever. I'm not that terrified because we've already known that with things like Turtle WoW, the community will keep some version of this game alive, so I'm not that stressed for a show. I also hope that within 5 years or whatever, plus however long it would take for them to phase out the servers, that we are caught up on this content. So, Classic is hands down the hardest or the most time consuming. Once we get over to doing retail, then everything's going to speed up. The jury is still out on whether or not that was our last carapace, about whether or not I would try to do. The problem is, so I have proponents saying like, go do Burning Crusade Classic. So, here's my problem with that is, by the time we hit Burning Crusade Classic, so let's just maybe hopefully somewhere near the end of this year, at the end of 2025, we're ready to go move on to that in some way, shape, or form. Like, we might not be 100% done with this, but maybe all we have left is like some raiding and some obscure quests, and I phase this back and it becomes like a once a week episode. We devote some time to like grinding out those quests. Like, and I don't do it, we don't pre-do it, I completely drop off, like, pre-doing it on my other characters, and we visit some of my other characters, like, my mom and, my mom Kin and my dad Gar characters, my two that I do, which are a little bit, arguably a little bit better equipped than these two, just because Paladin, Shaman really get relegated to healing roles later on in the game, whereas my Druid, you can still, I mean, whatever, who knows? We're gonna just see how it goes. But the point of what I'm saying is that I'm not gonna do like, I mentioned on the last episode, like the Bloodsail Buccaneers, like getting the rep done. I'm not doing that on multiple characters. I'm not even doing it on both factions. We're just going to do it once. We maybe are not going to necessarily do all of the holiday quests together. All right, here we go. I mean, on all the character piece. Maybe we will. All right, Zukk'ash Infestation.
Ancestors watch over.
How goes the hunt, Glee Contessa? Are you here to report your success?
Well done, adventurer. Though the extensiveness of the Zukk'ash presence will not be thwarted with anything less than a full-scale invasion, you have bought us some time so we can devise a proper strategy. I will be sure to have these carapaces analyzed. We'll need to learn everything about them before we deal with what has unfortunately turned into a much larger issue than we
I'd anticipated. Yeah, I was a little bit off track there. Okay, so that's the Zukk'ash Infestation. That one will be done. Cool, cool. And then we're going to also do Stinglasher.
Farewell. Goodbye.
Have you managed to bring down Stinglasher yet?
Impressive, adventurer. Most impressive. If Stinglasher is indeed one of their strongest creatures, the study of the beast will prove to be quite valuable in time. It's now my charge to make sure we defend ourselves long enough to take advantage of it. Please accept this coin bounty as a token of the entire camp's thanks, adventurer. Well done.
Ancestors.
That one we got a little bit of XP for. The XP is just so low. All right, so that gives us Stinglasher, and then that actually opens up the Zukk'ash report, which is good, because that's probably yet another reason to go to Orgrimmar, and that's kind of another thing I was waiting for.
You've done doubly well in addressing the threat that the Zukk'ash insects pose to Camp Mojache. The threat these things pose is far from over, and I'd like to ask you for one last task on behalf of the Horde. This is a document that details all the information we have learned about these Zukk'ash insects. I want you to deliver it to Zilzibin Drumlore in the Drag of Orgrimmar. He's an expert on alien creatures like these. I hope he can do something with the lore we've obtained.
One would hope so. Okay, so that Zukk'ash report is getting near the end of this quest zone. All right, so what do we have next? That's going to take us back. We still have not found the chicken, so that's something we're going to possibly have to grind at the end. That takes us to Org. Now that takes us to Org. So we do have the Yetis to do. I think what we have to do before we go forward is, even to these Yetis, we've got to go get our metallic fragments. So let's go do that, and then we'll hopefully find the last Treant that we need while doing that, and then we can come back here. So that's the goal. We're going to look for one more Treant, so that we have the Treant Muisek all done. Wait a minute. Yeah. So if we can get... Wait a minute. Do I need to sell? Yeah, let me sell a couple. And we can't read that Zukk'ash report. But we can sell these 3 things. Actually, you know what? We'll be okay. It's only 3 inventory spots. So we're going to go back down to get the rest of our metallic fragments, which should actually let us wrap up natural materials. And hopefully, like I said, hopefully we find one Treant. There is one that pats down there in that area. So those 2 things would allow us to get right near the end. We'll be right at the end of the Muisek questline. All that will be left is the giants over here. So that we can be ramping up for the final portion. And we're really good on time, too. So what's going to slow us down is... we do have these zapped giants and fuel for the zapping. That's actually something we probably need to take care of. And we have these Yetis. But we have a run where we'll need to do... the chicken egg is going to really hurt us also. Chicken egg. Oh, chicken egg. So... the people in my chat. I can't even read. I'm glad my face is blocking the chat because it is peak Wow, immaturity right now. Okay, so we are working our way. The only reason that we're going down here is because I thought we'd have more attempts at these metallic fragments. I was wrong. Apparently, only a couple of the things drop them. So we're gonna, and that's all we need for the little side part that you're designed to do alongside of the Muisek stuff, which is the natural materials. The good part about it is that we can skin these hippogriffs, so we'll finally start collecting some leather in this, like, nature-filled zone that we have yet to find a single stinking nature thing in. Alright, and we are also going to be looking for that final treant while we're here. Okay. On the fence about whether or not I want to drop totems. So just these ones are just a little space too far apart. Okay, so they do, the drop rate on the metallic fragments is pretty close to 100%. Unfortunately, these guys are low levels, so we're getting only heavy leather and no XP. Work our way down, maybe closer to the bottom. That's where the treant, I think, pats, and also I believe the hippogriffs are a little stronger down there, so we can maybe get some XP. Oh, we got some XP, because we are still sitting at 47,000. We've gained like almost no XP off of these guys. Yeah, so this one is already a couple levels higher. Spray feather stagwing. Okay, here's a little pack of them. I like that. We'll go ahead and set up the old business here. And keep our eyes open for a treant while we're in the area. It would be probably better if I shot some things at them, but I'd have to use magic since Shaman can't shoot. That guy did not have a metallic thing. See, that's pretty strong. But, you know, the cost of that one flame shock was all of my totems combined, so I guess that's something to consider. We're doing fine. Ooh, these guys are not helping me on these metallic fragments. Come on. Oh, that one gave me a thick leather. That's good. He's a thick boy. Okay. But yeah, these, I mean, the other option to get the, yes, we got the chicken. Oh, heck yeah. Let's start that quest right now. You have uncovered some sort of strange egg-shaped device made from metal. Fiddling with one of its knobs springs the egg to life as it opens up into some sort of gnomish robotic contraption. A voice from inside the robotic egg crackles to life. My name's Oglethorpe Bobnoticus, and my homing robot has crashed. I will reward you for its recovery. Please take this beacon to the robot. I now have computed the coordinates of the robot for you. It is in a cave near Feral Scar Vale. Okay, so that's find OOX blah 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 blah. Thank goodness, because that was the one thing that could have locked us in perpetuity in this zone. So much goodness that these hippogriffs dropped it, and that is, you know, it's awesome. That's a long, elegant feather. Those, if you happen to do this zone before you do Hinterlands, yet another reason why that's probably a good thing to do. Which in the future, I think I would rearrange this list. This is the biggest oversight in rearranging. It's because that quest right there, those that become level 55 at the end, are not truly level 55 quests. They're more like level 48, but it skewed the average leveling of my quests up. What I think I would actually do in the future is, I was going to truly get down and dirty making a list of this, and I might do that on one of our flight more days where we have a lot more heavy travel and it's a little bit more boring, is to look at the actual quests completed and then look at the average number of like the average mobs actually needed to be defeated to do those quests. Like, do some math like that, and then find out a true ranking of the zones. Now, the starting zones are going to be packed pretty calm, but basically not basing it on quest level. Because that's what I did here, and there's too much jankiness. I already had to... There was a red flag when I saw some marked as level 60, like when I see all these 60 elites, and then I'm like, oh, but Dire Maul's in the area, so I kind of have to discount those quests. Same thing with Maraudon in Desolus. You get to Maraudon, and you're like, oh, well, not really, because... it's not really like having all of these mid and high level 40 quests. Yeah, look at this. Now we've got these guys everywhere. So I'm going to get up onto a slightly higher ridge and then drop some... Is this LVY is out of date? Screw that. I don't even want to update it because it's such a pain in the butt to like... I'm gonna grab these guys. What, you jerk? Which one did you take down? My stone totem. Alright, so this is a Stagwing. Our metallic fragments are not great here. I mean, what? I guess there's not really a lot better you can do. But yeah, I would have done this zone before a lot of other zones because it's really not that tough. You should be doing it in the mid-40s, but because of those 55 quests and these 50s, low 50 quests here that send you to Fellwood, and you know, it skewed me to treat this level as though it was a zone that should be more tackled when you're around level 50, and that's just not the case. Those are just a couple, either not optimally tagged quest levels, or in the case of the 52, just an anomaly that you should really be ending the zone with because it's trying to get you to start exploring Fellwood. Yeah, it's annoying when these guys don't drop the materials that way. So this is going to end up being the most tedious part. I really don't remember doing this, but I do remember... I mean, I remember doing this quest, but I don't remember, like, the tedium of this. I must have been in autopilot mode. I do 100% remember that I did have to come here and just grind these whatever they're called, Fray Feather guys for a while. That thing's gonna aggro my totem too, huh? A Patriarch. Oh, I want that Patriarch. Alright, I'll get this Sky Stormer. And like I said, we need to also hopefully find that last Treant. That would be ideal. Come on now. Not getting a lot of luck here. I don't like it. Redrop that, I guess. I mean, this guy is a little bit tougher, I guess, compared to the others. Still not hard or anything. Okay, finally got a metallic fragment out of him. Still need 16 to go. So we're 60% done. Alright, I guess we're gonna go march in here. I'm on the fence about whether I guess it's only 109, sure. Why not? Bust that out too. That's pretty cheap overall damage, I guess. Oh, no, he did get me. Yeah, that's another good thing. Oh, dang it. If I don't hop on the aggro, then... Dang it. Why is the drop... That's annoying, though. The drop rate is also slow, so low. I felt like the metallic fragment drop rate... What was it that we were killing first? I felt like the metallic fragment drop rate on that was good. I think it was these guys. I don't know why all of a sudden these drop rate is low. Bummer. Okay, we're gonna just continue moving along here. Okay. There we go, right before it aggro. I gotta do the skinning after, I guess, because this thing is gonna pick up additional hits for funsies, so... I mean, I like that. It's actually kind of nice. It speeds up the process. Okay. 14 more to go. This is wow for you. This is the level slowdown. Or what, you know, you get a nice little... You get a nice something going, and then... It, hit you like this. Alright, so we'll pull a couple more of these from far. I have a base set up here for 45 more seconds. At least one more. Still have not seen that Treant. He'll be dead before I even get back there. And nothing to show for it. You turds. Alright. So, oh, I see a Treant. There we go. Oh no, that's not the right kind. So these cursed sycamores are the worst because they make you feel like you're in the right track, but they are not, in fact, anything. I'm going to take it down in case it shares a spawn point with the other. But I do not believe this is going to do anything for us. Alright, so now coming up ahead, let's look at our upcoming... Tomorrow I will not make a long play episode. I think I'll probably drop another Patreon tomorrow to kick the week off and just get it out of the way. Now see, I can try to use the Muisek, but yeah, it doesn't work. So at least he's dead. I did just finish Assassin's Creed Bloodlines and So that's where I am with that. Going after him. Thought. Okay. And I think I have a book. I have a few Patreon episodes in a row coming up with a book. I'll do one of those tomorrow. I think my goal is going to be to try to do every couple days I do an episode of this. Although I might change that schedule a little bit next week just to give myself time to catch up, because we're getting awfully close to 14 stam boots. We're getting awfully close to overcoming. Like, I'm still on Fellwood. It's got a pretty decent amount of time left. I have not been, however I've been living my life, it's not been giving me ample time to, like, surpass and catch up. Sometimes, especially on the days when my wife's off, because what will happen is I mostly, other than playing this, I do not spend a lot of time in my day playing WoW, other than on this episode. I might do 2 or 3 quests, which is just, we usually get anywhere, most days we get anywhere from 8 to 12 quests done. So we outstrip, you know, my production quite a bit. So it's just not really, there's no way for me to keep pace. I cannot believe we're still sitting at 14. Like, what the absolute heck? We're gonna have to maybe look up where we can have a better drop rate. I feel like the drop rate has plummeted on these things. I thought maybe it'd be better down here, but it actually seems worse. So maybe we'll go back up for easier, lower level hippogriffs. There we go. It's like they heard me. Okay. Also, we got bad luck because I'm pretty sure those cursed sycamores do share the same spawn point with the treants, so we did get bad luck on that. Maybe I need to eat one of my pieces of food after this fight and get my spirit up. I don't really care about the lightning cloud spell because you could just get out of it. Alright, so this is 12 stem, 12 spirit. Oh, let me eat that. I have 1 inventory spot taken up by that. Well, we got the chicken egg, so I guess I gotta kind of go there. We will definitely do that. That's gonna be now what we do next before we even go turn this in. While we're over in this neck of the woods, faux show. Here's a dude that's from 2112. I actually was part of that guild for half a second. I just didn't really vibe with it. But, you know, I felt like, hey, you know, you get a guild that is Rush fans, and I thought, I have a soft spot. I'm not the hugest Rush fan. I do like Rush, but I have a soft spot in my heart for Rush and Rush fans. When I was in 10th grade, my math teacher was a huge Rush fan, and he would start every single day with either a quote or like a small few seconds playing like a clip from Rush. And I just loved that class. I thought it was super cool. And the teacher was a really cool guy. I think we were rotten as a class, and I don't think he had a good grip on the class. But as a kid, I loved that class so much. I really got good grades. I excelled. I was engaged in it. It's one of the most entertaining math classes I've ever had. And for me at that age, what I needed was a teacher like that was just very relaxed, had a good sense of humor, you know, let the kids kind of get away with murder. What's kind of sad is that I knew someone later on in life that worked with him or something like that. But I can't remember where or if I saw him somewhere, but by all accounts, like, you know, by the end of his career, he was just miserable. Public education will it'll just grind your soul out if you are not of, like, Herculean strength. So, my hat's off to all of the educators out there in the world. You are true heroes, warriors, and I don't know that society will ever monetarily appreciate you, but I'd vote for any bill that said that helped push that through, because that's where the money's going to come from. It's not like the principals of the schools can be like, oh yeah, just pay the teachers for it. So, yeah, you know, you want my vote out there? Suggest that you're gonna, like, quintuple teacher pay. And I think that would solve a lot of problems. Like, I think a lot of people have complaints about how schools are run, and, like, you know, and it goes both ways. So, like, I think teachers are, like, complain a lot about the state of society and parents and the lack of, like, home reinforcement of education, ruining education, making people dumber, like, and meanwhile, families and parents feel that kids are getting dumber and a lot more crazy stuff happens in schools and so on and so forth. So there's just a complete, like, breakdown of the previous relationship that society, because it used to be at least teaching was a somewhat respected position in society. I feel, you know, families typically had the back of the teacher, and that also coincided with, like, teachers kind of running their own show. And, you know, I think when No Child Left Behind came out, which was at the end of my tenure of being in public school, but I get the impression that it hasn't. No, and I don't blame, like, one piece of legislation, because all that bill really did, I mean, it did a bunch of things, but one of the most prominent thing that it established was it introduced massive standardized testing, and that has only increased prolifically, and I don't know who benefits from that. I just don't know. I don't know who is out there fighting for... Ooh, look, Antilles the Soarer. It's a rare. Cool. Yeah, but I don't know who's out there like, yeah, I really am so happy about this. Some people obviously must be. It's a cool looking hippogriff. I don't think I've fought this guy before.
I can't carry anymore.
So I am full on multiple accounts. What can we throw away? The long elegant feathers sell for okay amount. I guess I've only had one hollow wing bone. Alright, I had mentioned those little silithid things. I'll throw those two out. A 20 spirit. Oh, you can't skin that guy. Unskinnable, unlike the other griffins. I mean, that's a cool 20 spirit, like a cloth healer, or a green. my male has more spirit on it just naturally, but maybe for the level it's decent. I don't know, probably not. I always see something and I'm like, that seems okay. And then no one ever wants it, and when I dig into my own gear, I'm like, well, I would never wear it. So most of the stuff is trash. But anyway, I do not remember that teacher's name, but shout out to him. You have a fond place in my memory, and I think about you anytime I hear or see anything related to the band Rush. And I have a degree in math, and I ended up pursuing math, and I don't think there's probably a big part of your teachings out there, dude, that played a role in that. I guess you probably know who you are, because there's probably not too many teachers out there that started every 10th grade math class off with Rush. So. It was a geometry class. But it was also, that was just, in general, probably my favorite class that I had in all of high school. There was I had my best friend. It was one of the few classes I had throughout my high school career where I was in the actual same class, same block, same period with my best friend. So him and I would certainly make life, I don't know that we make life miserable. In that class, though, we definitely tore it up. We were not well behaved, and we had a lot of friends. It wasn't just the two of us. We actually had a few friends in that class that people I stayed in touch with, you know, into my adult years. There was, it's another freaking cursed sycamore. Dang it. I also had a little one of my earliest romantic excursions with a girl from that class. It was not successful. But I had a little crush, basically. I think it was potentially unrequited, but it allowed my thoughts to be consumed with it, with the pursuit of that romantic adventure for some time. Something that came to naught. I'm just gonna sit here in the lightning and let it all zap me down. So those are, you know, those are instrumental in being young. Trying and failing in the arena of love. You gotta fall on your face a few times. Yeah, there was just and it makes it particularly more poignant because I had so many good memories with my bestie in that class, and he is no longer with us. He passed away when we were around 24, 25 years old. So anything that you know that is in the mind castle of me that contributes to. Okay, we're up to 32. We need 8 more, so we're 80% done. And here we have another clutch of these guys. If after the fact, if someone knows a better spot to farm these, and you want to shoot my viewers a comment to save people from having to do this, by all means, because it feels inefficient. Want ed equals want ed frowny face. Wanted strength to brace. I don't know what's going on there. Oh, it's like I was fighting them both or something. So it didn't really work out. Oh, +9. There you go. I was like, I don't understand. There we go. Makes more sense now. Man, the drop rate is just hideous. Maybe it's 1 in 4? Maybe? So if it is truly 1 in 4, then we've got like 64 more of these guys. No, that math doesn't check out. 32 more. Still 32 more, Matt. Dude, it's trash. I'm trying to work my way back up. No, I don't want the lightning storm is getting annoying. Rep is the key to getting good with enchants, I guess. You get reputation. That cursed sycamore again, man. Terrible. We're gonna have to get out of here and hunt down a tree in another spot after this. Because we did not get like this. Cursed sycamore's killing. I think that hunter killed it too. There you go. 7 more to go. This is our life now. Slowly killing hippogriffs, the boatload, and now I would consider grinding the Timber Maul rep too. That is, I believe, I don't remember how you do it once you get to a certain point. I thought killing was a big part of it, but it might be the beads. That you can only get beads. I don't remember how you get exalted. On this insane character I had, I did get exalted. Dang it! There goes my fire one. Oh, just honored. Okay, honored is fine. Honor we could do. I mean, I do have an enchanter. We might have to do it anyway. Depends on, are there quests tied to this whole Timber Maul rep or not? That's what it's all about. Since what we're doing is quests, and this is a lore show, anything that's tied to a quest we're going to try to experience. But if it's just like grinding reps so I can buy a recipe, and there's no other purpose. Oh my gosh, what can I dump now? I guess I'm gonna dump this like uncured heavy hide. We have not been getting a ton of them. Watch me get one right now because of it. We'll throw other stacks. I got a bunch of razor sharp beaks we could throw out too. Tons of them actually. So we can get rid of some of those. These long elegant feathers, though, look, we've gotten 1 out of all these stupid hippogriffs. I keep saying I'm going to go to the north, and then I just keep finding like a bunch more hippogriffs and not doing it. What's our experience? Well, we have gained like 20,000 XP almost. At least 15,000. Okay. Nope. Sheesh. One day I will get more. We just need 6 metallic fragments. We are 85% done. There we go. 5 fragments to go. And this is what part 3 of the Feralas Horde became. These stupid metallic fragments. Like I'll time check us once we're done, but between this and the chicken quest, we're gonna be probably close. Nice. And we're gonna get that treant too. We are gonna find one more treant, so help me. So those are the 3 things I'd like to really focus on today. I mean, of course, unless we have like some abominable level of luck here for these last 5. 5 is still a pretty decent amount. So another thing about the totems is they're just so much more effective for a group. So when you're on your own, you're really having to do the math on the mana. What is it worth it? Whereas another freaking cursed sycamore, man. What the heck? Busters.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, stacks of razor shot. Don't want to. I'm gonna get rid of this steel lockbox because I don't even ever open them anyway. I mean, they could have some really cool stuff in there, but just can't carry them around and hope. I mean, sometimes I do, but I'd have to go back to a capital and buy some keys or hope that there's a rogue around.
Inventory's full.
I knew the freaking heavy hive was going to come by me, but... Alright, what do we got here? I guess I'm going to ditch the 4 silk cloth. Let's go there. I could ditch my 1 mage weave too. It's really not the end of the world. Because I'm not going to be having cloth coming anytime soon. Chris Sycamore is just roaming around like jerks. Just teasing me.
I can't carry anymore.
Oh man. Okay, yeah, what did I say I was gonna do? That 1 mage weave, that's a smart one. Come on, 5 more. He wants to play. This cursed sycamore is coming up from behind. Hello, do you want to take me? There we go. 4 fragments to go. We're 90% done. Come on, guys. Come on, you so-and-sos. Infiltrator boots the monkey. You just can't help it. Sometimes you see a boot and you're like, that just seems good. 6 agility, 6 stam. Okay. I guess if you're, level 20 or whatever. Requires level 28. Seems a little bit meh for... Oh good, we got back to back. That's the first time that's happened in a while. 3 to go. Come on, metallic fragments. I mean, we are going to be able to go back into our little... leather sitch here and work on leveling some leather working up again. Got those rugged armor kits. The heavy leather is like nothing. That does nothing for me. It does nothing for me emotionally. Ready to go. Come on. I don't know what GRM. I don't know what that mod is. I'm sure it says anyone having GRM giving errors. I don't know what that one is. Okay, we have another one. We're down to 2. What can I ditch? I guess I'm gonna have to ditch a stack of the razor sharp beaks at this point. Once I get these guys done and we're going and fighting Yetis, that's a little bit of a different story because I can start tossing some of these stacks or even partial stacks of the hypocrite. Just need 2 more metallic. Doesn't help that. That's 2. There we go. Okay, so I'm gonna toss a hollow bone stack to start a new hollow bone stack. Just need 1 more griffin. Not 1 more griffin, 1 more metallic fragment. Oh man. Someone sent this guy Edge Masters. That's pretty cool. That's the cool thing about being part of a guild. go. Just like that, we got all of them right at the end. So maybe I was too far back, or maybe that's just RNG. The usual RNG nightmare. Alright, so... we did not get luck on the Treant there. We are going to pop up and now go to the homing robot and also keep an eye out for Treants on our way back and on our way along that journey. We are going to not return home empty-handed. Where are we at with our time? Okay, so that did eat up pretty much the entire time of the whole episode. We have just enough time to do those couple things I mentioned, to find our final Treant and to do the escort quest. How we want to approach the rest of everything else, going to Booty Bay, all that stuff. There we go, there's a Yeti. So we're approaching the cave. That's something we can think about later. It might be time. Nah, never. No, it's not. It's not time. Alright, so we gotta fight our way in here. This is, honestly, in my opinion, this is the easiest. I don't know why I find this to be, but I find this to be the easiest of the escorts. Probably not on paper. I think it's the only one. Maybe it's not. You do have to have 4. You do have to do 3 set fights, and that's not the case for all of them. Some of the others, like the one in Tanaris, is very long, but I think you only have 2 set fights. But the 2 set fights are really annoying. The fight where you... There's one fight where you... have to fight all the scorpions, and it's very easy to aggro. And it's like 4 scorpions. That's a very tough fight. And then you can easily get in trouble when you fight the larger Waste Wander fight, so that's a little tricky. But it's not that bad. But that first fight is a death trigger. And then when you're doing the ones in Hinterlands, maybe it's because I did that at the lowest level. But that one has a troll fight, a moonkin, and there's... I think that might be the only 2, but there's a good chance that you'll... I'm going to kill these 2 guys too. There's a good chance that it will result in you listen myself so I can start the 3-minute cooldown timer right now. Probably won't need it at first. But I don't know. Probably should clear that guy too while I'm there. But we're gonna charge up before we do this. We start this escort proper here. Oh gosh. Alright, but now I can destroy this elegant feather. This guy, because the chicken will probably aggro him too. I'm not gonna drop my lightning shield yet. That's cool. A Dreadblade of Power. Not too shabby. Oh, it's a dagger. It's like a little samurai-looking dagger. That's cool. Okay, that I haven't seen. Alright, I dropped this totem right here because we're going to rejuvenate some of our stuff. I think we're good here.
I can't carry
Okay,
anymore.
so I need to drop something. Let's just drop these 2 hollow bones. Alright, and then I'm going to go ahead and eat this salmon. Drop my 2 buffs here. You appear to have uncovered the wreckage of a robotic chicken. The voice from within the egg crackles to life again. Yes, excellent work. This is indeed my homing robot, though my sensors indicate that it seems it needs a jump start before it can fly back to Booty Bay for repairs. Go ahead and place the beacon inside the rover. The beacon will take care of the rest. You place the egg distress beacon inside the chicken homing robot. Hums and whirs are heard from inside the robot as it struggles to stand up. After the robot comes to life, Oglethorpe's voice is heard once more, but now from inside the robot. OOX22FE is working at least, but it needs major repairs. It's much too heavy for you to carry it. I think I have an idea. Are you up for watching over it some more? Okay, so let's go ahead and do the sheet here. That one is done. And this bad boy is going to get picked up. We're not turning it in on this episode. This is probably going to be... Alright, so... Rescue OOX22FE. The gnome's voice crackles once again from the robot. I need to move OOX22FE to an open, safe place so it can begin a lengthy takeoff procedure. It has built-in cloaking, but I need time on my end to make it operational again. Escort the robot from its current location to, let's say, the dock along the Forgotten Coast. That should be a perfect place, and long enough to get things online. Escort it safely to the dock, and then come talk to me in Booty Bay. Oglethorpe up Nauticus out. Alright. Emergency power activated. Initializing ambulatory motor. Alright. So we're going to fight this. Yeah, the shaman is cool. They're talking about shaman class. Alright, so we clear the cave, but we'll aggro a couple yetis on the way out. I was already prepared for that. Dang it, I did that wrong. You have to let, once the chicken aggroes the yeti, you have to kind of allow... You have to allow the chicken to start attacking, or else what will happen is the chicken will ignore the fact that you're in combat. It's not like most things. Every once in a while it'll come back and help you, but... Okay. So what we're going to do is let my salmon do the work of healing. See, he aggro's on, but there you go. You have to let that damage happen first. Since I'm at pretty much full mana, we go ahead and bust a heal. Alright, so now he will notice these Yeti coming. Oh. So we have to wait and see what happens. Alright, so what you want to do is get something that will make all of the aggro come onto you. Yeah, I was gonna say that. There you go. I had to switch that threat. Like, he was not. It almost resulted in some death there, because it was not. I was using the wrong one. It's got to be this first one. I was trying to find which ones were not still targeting me. That was a little bit annoying. So you do have to be ready, and now I'm gonna have to focus on, like, if he aggroes the stupid gorilla that he did. So I have to try to get some time up to drink my juice, or I'm screwed. Okay, so we gotta go forward, run up, let him get his thing on here, so I can drink some juice. And then let it go forward a little bit. You have to be really strategic about when and how you let this stupid guy go. Now that he's on the road, though, we're okay for the most part. Problem being that there are two other you have to have some way of getting like an AoE swipe, or you have to be really good about getting the threat on all of them real quick. Because as you saw, like, I almost lost him to those 3 Yetis because I was having a hard time getting the aggro. I kept dropping this Fire Nova totem. So that was bad. You needed... The Magma totem is actually the better one. Oh my gosh. There's a Wandering Forest Walker. We got to keep that in mind. That's the one we need. So up there, we saw one, but I don't have time to pull off. I can't risk it right now. We'll have to come back and search in that general vicinity. That's the last one we need. Okay, so there are 2 fights still. There's a gorilla fight that's going to be coming up right about now. Okay. So now the gorilla fight, you can kind of... Okay, kind of watch and see. Okay, and that's what you kind of have to do. You just have to get your threat going on all of them. Make sure that they are not... Got one. Okay, just make sure that their threat is not on that chicken. Okay, but as you can see, also, they're not that tough. Especially at the level we're on. I do not have space for a Gorilla Fang. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. Same deal. This time I think I'm okay on mana. It did not appear that my Magma Totem pre-drew the threat. And the problem with this dumb chicken is you have to let it get some threat going. That is what it is. Now, this final fight might be a little trickier compared to the others, because you're going to fight a pack of gnolls, and they're going to have some kind of caster in there. It might be a 4-pack of gnomes. Gnolls, I mean. Okay. So here they are. Yep, it is a 4-pack of gnolls. So I think... Yeah, see, he ran right past them, though. So that's, I guess, you never know how that's going to work out. Now they're running back, so they may or may not aggro onto us right here. We're going to see what happens. Good, so he's coming to help out. The ally person came to help. That was pretty good of him.
Inventory is full.
Okay. So, I gave an old salute to the paladin that helped me, because that does happen. This is a pretty frequent area. It's actually not crazy to see someone, and everybody knows how much these quests suck. So, cloaking systems online. Engaging cloak for transport to Booty Bay. Alright, so a couple things here. We are in the... I think this guy maybe can shop, or maybe he becomes a shop after you do it the first time. I don't quite remember.
Maybe this wasn't the best place for a shop after all.
Okay. Alright, so back we go now. We will be going back and doing this guy's quests soon. But, yeah, so that guy is gone. What can we get rid of here? I guess a single razor sharp beak can probably go. We got to loot most of them. We got our single mage weave back. Alright, so now what we're gonna do, now that we completed the Booty Bay portion. I mean, it was nice of him to help because it's basically insurance. I think we would have been okay. I think I would have hit them with that stomp, and I already had the threat of the caster. It would have been possibly dicey, though. We might would have had to use some potions. Oh, here's some more gorillas. We can still skin those guys. Left them behind before. Oh, got some more thick hide. Cool. Thick and heavy leather. And then right around here, up across, if we went up, was where I saw that wandering treant. So we got to try to hopefully see this guy. Maybe we'll get lucky and find him again out in the wild here. That's our goal. We got to find one more, and then we'll go turn this, go back in and turn that portion in. Okay. There are a couple spots. There we go. There we go, mate. Okay, so let's get him away from these other mobs here. This should be our final one of these. It's not the final thing in the whatchamacallit. We still have this northern part of the zone to do. We also have this guy, the zap giants and fuel for the zapping.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay, well, what do we... Alright, we're going to get rid of my single one again. And now we're Muiseking. There we go. Love it. Alright. So, the most annoying quests in this zone... This is another reason why Feralas is pretty good. Almost every zone has like some intense elite killing or whatever involved in it. Something hard. Not Feralas. Feralas is one of the few zones where you can come in at whatever level you're supposed to be and grind your way out. I guess the only thing would be if you're fighting these anger claws, you need to be like at least around maybe 49 or so to do it. And that's probably... I mean, it depends where you're at when you're doing all the questing. Most of the quests in this zone are around 45 to 48. So... just something to consider. So, we did get ourselves down to needing about 26,000 XP. We just have a couple quests to turn in right now. And next time, what we'll do is we will... I don't want to go to org yet. Actually, what's our time? Yeah, we're at time right now. Alright, so this kind of happened to us last time too. So we'll turn those in, and we're going to set ourselves up to do this next time. We will have some Fellwood quests to do. We could do that, and then Hearth and Return to start the next. Where we finish this zone out. Not the craziest thing. There is a world where we finish this in one more episode. So if that's the case, then maybe we need to fly as close as we can get to Fellwood. Maybe we at least need to do that, so that next episode we start in Fellwood, and then we can... quicker flight from Fellwood to there, or probably Org's a pinch quicker, and then we can Hearth to Org, and then fly back and have a little flight, and we can kind of just suss our episode out that way. Not the worst idea that I've ever had, for sure. We'll see how long it takes us to get those corruption quests done. And maybe we will level up by that time. That was my kind of hope to level up. 26,000? That's a big ask for one quest, so maybe not yet. I'm changing my mind.
Relax.
Alright, so let's turn in these natural materials.
See ya later.
We are able to collect the materials I need.
Later.
Excellent. These materials combined with the Muisek should yield the results we've been wanting. Yeah, this is all for like some item or something like that. Okay. Oh, we're gonna have to go over to Booty Bay and Stranglethorn anyway. So with the travel, we probably have 2 episodes left to go. That's this guy. We'll turn into Treant Muisek as well, which should get us whatever the next one is.
Okie dokie. See you.
We are able to capture the wandering forest walkers.
See ya later.
Thank you, Gleekan. So our Muisek collection is almost complete.
See ya.
So he did a little something to me when they do that, and it, like, there's a little casting on you. Sometimes that means you've got like some kind of buff. It's too hard to tell what it is from. Okay, Mountain Giant Muisek is the last of the Muiseks, I think. The last task I will require of you is to travel to the northwest and find the final enemy. The mountain giants left the mountains to aid the Night Elves when the Burning Legion appeared in the world. You will know them by their massive size and the way the ground begins to shake as you travel along their rocky terrain. I'm eager to harness power of that size, kill 7 mountain giants, and use the Muisek vessel to capture their powerful music. That's, I guess, technically, that is our elite quest. That is a... hers is elite, technically. Mountain Giant Muisek. Maybe it's not elite, actually. Alright, so let's go ahead and pick that up, and then we'll just take a small baby peek into what the next episode won't be tomorrow, but the next one we do will bring. Alright, what do we have here? To the top just takes a few seconds. It's going to happen when we're up there in the north. Grim Discovery, we're just turning in Orgrimmar. These two, we're just turning in Booty Bay, so we have some travel, but nothing hard. Gordani Orb, we're turning in Orgrimmar. Zukk'ash Report, we're turning in Orgrimmar. So all of those are super quick. We will have to grind out these. That's a medium amount of time, 20-ish minutes or so. We'll have to do these two. That's a decent amount of time. And then we'll have to grind out this, and then that's just a quick turn-in. Okay, and these two, that's a few minutes as well. Strength of Corruption, that's the one I'm not sure where that comes from. Are we going to have to travel back? And then redoing that. Just the refuel for the zapping, and again with the Zap Giants, is almost enough to make an entire episode by itself. And so that's where we're going to start kind of tomorrow and see. We'll go out and do those two, see where we're at, and then go from there. All right, everybody, that was great. We made great, fantastic progress today. I thank you, everyone, so much for your watchings and listenings and tuning in. You all, as always, are amazing. Like and subscribe and check me out and do all those other good things that content creators beg you to do. For now, we just have another little old episode in the pipe 5x5.